What's up, guys? Rashad with Bad Beats here, and today I'm doing the deck profile for the new set 15 Burly deck. This was probably the only deck I was actually wanting to play out of this new set. I wasn't really too thrilled with the other options, so I like this, so I did end up building this. For those of you who don't know what it does, the permanent on the front says you can only play Burly battle cards, so you can't play like Champa and all the other cool stuff that you can play in other decks. So like that's one thing. You're very limited on the battle cards that you get to play. But his auto, when he attacks, you pitch an extra card and draw two. And his awaken is like the Sin Awaken. When you have 3 or less life, you draw two on tap one, flip him. On the backside, when he attacks, you draw one. And then if you got 7 or more extra cards in the drop, you can activate the activate battle skill on an extra card from your drop. And then he's got another activate battle, which is you can pitch a red extra card from your hand and he gets 5k for the battle. So it's kind of like how Dark Broly was with the 30ks, except it's with extra cards, so you'll never have cards in your hand that you can't combo. Unless you're playing against the new blue decks with the hit unison, they flip your leader to the front, and then you just lose since the deck's like almost all extra cards. But I do have some stuff in here to help mitigate that now. So that's the leader. We'll get on with the cards. We'll start off with the battle cards since they're very limited. 4 super combos, a Spark and 5, it's a Burly card. 10k, draw 1. We play 4 of the SR because you have to. This one is actually like really good. So what he does, he's got deflect and double strike, and he has a permanent. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and you've got 5 more extra cards in the drop, he reduces its cost by 3. And then he's got an auto, which is once per turn. When you activate battle on an extra card, you can pitch a card from your hand and untap him. If you pitch another copy of him, you draw 2 cards and you neg 35k, something ignoring barrier. So this kills everything but secret rares when you do that. And you can't do this on both players' turns because it's when you activate an activate battle. So if you've got one on the board and you swung with it and you don't want to untap it on your turn because you think they have something that you're going to need to kill, you can just leave them out and then activate battle on the extra card, and then you get to do it and KO something and draw 2 if you pitch one of them. And then we play 4 of the 4-drop Burly from the set. I actually really like this one a lot. He's got an autos limit 1. Whenever you activate battle on an extra card, you pay 1 red energy. You play it from your hand. And so you can play this on your opponent's turn or your turn. I try to play him on my opponent's turn to make sure that they stick around. He's got auto when he swings, you choose 1. You either neg 10k a battle card or you neg 15k a unison. So this takes a marker off almost every unison in the game. And when you're trying to clear a battle card, since he's 16k, you swing at it, neg at 10, and it'll be 16 to whatever it is after the neg 10. So that pretty much clears up the battle cards. That helps you a lot on the combo power and stuff. And then the only card I'm pricing right now, because I won't have my crowns until Sunday, this is 2 Burly Crown. If you guys don't know what Burly Crown does, it's a 1-drop Burly card that also has 4k power. When you play it, if your opponent's got 2 open energy, you look at their hand and you discard a battle card 20k or below. That's the battle. That is literally all the battle cards we play. You could go up to 3 or 4 on the crown if you wanted to. I was thinking about testing it at 3. But it's really just your choice and how your locals is, or if you're going to an event, you would want to like study the meta and see like how it is there before you make those changes and stuff. So it's just all up to you on what ratios you want to play. And then the unison, I play 4 of the Dark Broly unison. I know some players were wanting to play the Frost unison, but I think it's horrible in this deck. Like, it's just a blocker. I don't think you need a blocker. You awaken at 3 life, so you kind of want to take some hits. But what this does is if you have 3 more extra cards in your drop, it gets double strike, and then it's +1 as you look at the top 5 for a red extra card, so it's literally never going to miss in this deck. And it has -2 when your opponent attacks with a battle card, you give it neg 3k for each red extra card in your drop. So like late game, this kills like every battle card. So like definitely play 4 of that one. And then on to the extra cards. I play 4 of the one that is a Self-Awakener. This is also only the only extra card that has a free activate battle. It's for if you can play this guy turn 1 on your opponent's turn or on your turn if they went first and you want to clear something off their board, or like this generally if they played a unison and like plus you generally will like kill their unison with this guy if you can play it on their turn. So what this one does is this activate battle. You just use it and it gets the card in battle gets 5k. And then when it's in the drop, you limit 1. you warp it, burst one, and pick up a life. So you just use it to self-awaken. And then we play 4 demonic barriers. This one's really good because it's a Senzu Bean. So if you use it on your turn, if your leader's power is 15k or less, your leader gets plus 5k in crit for the turn. So the crit's what you would get on your turn. It actually gives a crit on your opponent's turn too, but obviously you can't swing on your opponent's turn. It's just the extra 5k is why I play 4 of this, because it's literally like your Senzu Bean for red, which helps a lot. Also, like if they flip your leader over with the hit unison, since you won't be able to combo anymore, if you've got this in your hand, at least you can put your leader back at 15, and there's some other things that'll like help you with that. Next, we play 4 copies of Demonic Playtime. This is a pseudo super combo. So when you when you activate battle with this one, you give your leader 10k power for the battle and double strike, and then you draw a card. So you can use this defensively to give your leader 10k for the battle and draw, or when you're pushing in for game, you use this on your leader and give it 10k double strike and you draw. Also, you want to try to get this one in the drop early, or the barrier. Either one of these two. These are the ones that you're going to be using from the drop with your leader's skill in the bag. So ideally, you kind of want to use barrier from the first, because if you use this in the battle, then you won't get the extra 5k from barrier, because your leader will be above 15k. So ideally you want to use this one first, and then you want to use this one from your hand, or unless you don't care about the extra 5k because they're hand small, you can just play playtime from the drop for free, and then you get the extra draw. So like that's how you keep a decent sized hand. You swing, you draw, you activate this one from the drop, you draw again. I play 4 copies of Death Ball to also help go for game. Because you swing, you do this from the drop, you give your leader double strike, and then you just play the death balls from your hand and neg their leader for as many death balls as you have, while giving you more power. And this also helps you clear battle cards in combination with Meteor. So what Meteor does is activate battle. If it's your turn, you limit 1 also. All these are limit 1, except for Barrier. Barrier is not limit 1. But all the other ones are limit 1, except for Death Ball. Obviously, it's not a Burly card. But activate battle on your turn. You choose your opponent's battle cards, adding up to 30k power and KO them. So when they have like big threats on the board, you want to activate battle. You want to neg it with Death Ball, and then like KO like a big thing, like a secret rare that's 40k or a battle card that's 35. There's a lot of those right now. So this is how you get rid of those. Or you can give your leader plus 15. And then give it another 10, but negate its skills. So you wouldn't be able to combo the extra cards anymore if you use the second one. So like this is like ideally your last ditch effort if you're using it for defense. I've normally just used it for removal so far. And then we have 3 of the Burly Negate. This one is also limit 1 on the counter attack. The activate battle is not limit 1. So activate battle, for 1, you give your card 10k for the battle. Or if you limit 1 negate with it, you will negate the attack, pick one of your opponent's battle cards, it gets minus 10k. So that's why I only play 3 of this one, because it is a negate, but it's limit 1, so you don't want to like have a bunch of them in your hand. And then the other negate that I play for this deck is Unending Awakening. I play 3 copies of this. You negate the attack and give your leader 5k for the turn, so it's another Senzu Bean type card. So you really need these for defense if you're playing against the Universe 6 decks. If you just know you're not going to play against any of those decks at all, then I guess you can like cut this and play some other things. I don't play the 1-drop extra card, the Demon Cometh, the one where you discard an extra card and draw 2, because I've really felt like the card wasn't good. There was many a time where I just draw it late in the game and it was just like a dead card. The only extra cards you really want to discard at the beginning is the Demon Awakens, because it's your Self-Awakener. You would draw 2 and then you would use that to take a life, and it just gets you an extra card, but that just didn't feel good. I feel like using this Activate Battle to play the 4-drop Burly was just better than discarding it to draw 2, because you don't plus that way if you don't activate it immediately. And so this negate just gives you 5k, and it helps you against like 15k rush decks. So I thought this one was better, so I'll play that one instead. And of course we played 3 tests in the opposition, sparking negate basically for when you're at 5 or below life. So if they're trying to like double strike you from 4 to 2, or from like they try to do something to you like that, then you can just use this to pick the life up and you don't have to worry about getting knocked down like that. And the last two negates that we play is 2 King Vegeta Imposing Presence and 2 Violent Rays. I feel like you really can't play this deck without this card because it's like your only floodgate you can play because you can't play Topo or anything like that. Violent Rays is very mediocre. There's not many decks that this card's good against right now. Most things just aren't swinging like several times above 20k anymore. And if they are, then you normally like mitigate those swings with other things. But King Vegeta, the attacking card will get minus 10,000 power, and then your opponent can't attack for the turn unless that card gets neg 5k, ignoring barrier. So this is your best floodgate that you have. Honestly, if you wanted to, you could play 4 of this and just kill the Violent Rays. But I have the Violent Rays sticking around just in case so I don't get caught off guard by any other decks that are swinging big cards. Like all the new 6-drops that they made that like untap themselves and stuff, like they're all like 30, 35k. So it's good against like those type of cards because a lot of people are playing those decks right now. So you can definitely keep these around. Or if you're playing against like Jiren or something, you know, they got the big 35k dude that can attack twice. There's like a whole bunch of decks that can attack twice, but you usually don't have an issue with it.
Yeah,
but you want it just in case. Kaba's 19.
Oh, they're 19.
Yeah, all the Kaba deck stuff is 19k except for the Kefla. So like it does literally just dead against that deck because everything's 19k dual attack, so it's like under it. But if you King Vegeta it, and then if they try to swing it twice, then it goes down to 10k. So like you just have this for like those kind of decks, and then the big decks you have this. This also works against thwarting Gogeta, so that's the other reason I'm still playing 2 of this card in the main, because like everybody's putting that package in every deck right now, so this helps against that. And that is the whole deck. I always play everything at 50 cards on the dot. This deck is almost all extra cards, so you just gotta hope like they don't negate your leader skill with something, or you just can't combo, which is why I play like the Floodgate-esque negates that can like boost my leader or make your attack smaller and stuff, is to help mitigate all that. And that way you save cards in your hand, because you don't want to have to just keep activating battle and like getting rid of your extra cards, because they're really good cards. Like all these effects on the Burly extra cards are honestly like really good. So you want to keep as many of them as you can, so you want to like mitigate what your opponent's going to do to you on their turn, and it makes it a little bit easier to win games. So I've been testing this quite extensively, and it's probably like my favorite red deck that I've ever played, which I'm not really a red player, but I've been playing this, and this is literally the only deck I want to play. So this deck is really good. It's extremely cheap. Like I highly recommend you guys pick this up if you want to get like in a red, because you don't need anything expensive. Like you can't even play other counterplays, so you don't have to worry about buying them. The most expensive card in the deck is Violent Rays, and you really don't need it. If you don't have any, you don't have to worry about playing them.
It doesn't work against. Yeah, well, it does, but it doesn't go too much against a lot of the new stuff.
Yeah, most of the new stuff, the Violent Rays isn't going to do anything for you. So like you don't have to have the Violent Rays. So, and that's the most expensive card. Meteor's like I think $8 maybe, 7 or 8 now.
How much is Death Ball?
Death Balls I think are also like $7 or $8. So you can build this whole deck for under $100. Like it's budget, and so far in my testing, it's actually been like a pretty good deck. So I recommend you pick it up if you play red. And that's the end of the video. We'll see you guys in the next one.